Hey everybody, Goldie here, and today we're taking a look at the last zombie to be released in this month-long contest, and it is none other than the Hulkster, Hulk Hogan, the Unmortal. So first things first, can we talk about this nickname real quick? The Immortal is goated. And that's what I will be referring to him as. Second, the character model looks a lot better than the card art, which usually isn't the case, but the card art looks like he's dying of the bubonic plague and like leprosy and radiation poisoning. This is a lot more acceptable to me. Plus, that's kind of cool. That whole screaming, moaning, groaning, blood curdling animation thing. So they redeem themselves by covering up his eyes with sunglasses, I guess is what I'm trying to say. So again, with the eras being questionable, he is a modern era acrobat, and I'm once again appealing to the courts that Austin is Attitude Era, Page is PG Era, Foley needs to be Attitude, Hulkster needs to be Legends. Moving on. His coach ability at 17k, Silence Gems do 50% more damage. Immediately, I think of Trick Cesaro with Gargano and the Immortal as coaches. Goated. Also, Tech Becky, if you don't have her gear, this and Gargano as well could help her punch up a little bit. Links, he's got your standard zombie link of 20% more health. He has the Zombies 2021 link of any color moves that deal damage will deal 25% more damage. And the modern era link, gems do 5% more damage, just the one set of gear. So what I'm going to do for this preview is I have about 4 different movesets that you can run at 3-star. The 4-star moveset is, I don't really like it. I mean, we could try stuff, but we, on my live stream this morning when I live streamed this character, we never used the 4-star move without the 5-star move. So I think I'm just going to stick to what we ran on the live stream this morning. So we'll do a bunch of 3-star moves, and then we'll do a 5-star move. Move set. I meant that. So the first one we're going to look at is double blue with black 2. So the bite, 12 MP is his finisher. Deal 180,530 damage and gain 7 black MP. The Axe Bomber, blue 2, deal 104,956 damage and choose a 4x2 area to swap into blue gems. And the Scoop Slam, which is black 2, 5 MP, deal 28,763 damage and choose 5 gems to make into wild card gems. So important to note with the Scoop Slam, gem generation trainers, so your color gem generations, and IRS, who generates loot boxes, those are the applicable trainers. Trainers like Tech Brett, who make botch gems, anyone that makes silence gems, blast gems, those are technically gem modifiers. They're not converting the base gem at all. So those kinds of trainers would not work on a move that generates wild cards. Trainers that actually change the gem to a different color or loot box, those are the ones that'll work. Even after explaining that, we're not going to use them, but I just wanted to get that out there. So the entourage, we're going to use Bray for more black MP to start. We're going to use Sami Zayn and boost up these blue moves. We've got Trickster Andre to charge our blue moves faster. And then we have Tech Rhea, hoping that we can get some blue gems on the starting board to link with the wild cards. Now for the belt, I'm doing a full armor set. See, that's just terrifying. That's just terrifying. Anytime Boost X wants to work. So for the belt, we're going full armor. I have a tier 5 blue %, so we're getting 200% on our blue moves. We're running a bad attitude plate. Whenever you break 3 or more blue gems, get 3 black move points at the end of your turn. Nothing fancy in the substats, but this is going to boost the finisher to 637,000 and the axe bomber to 370,000. Now, we're going to be a little bold in these previews. We're going to go up against a 5-star gold the entire time because Hulkamania is going to run wild over you. Anyways, let's see how this one looks. All right, very Hulk Hogan-esque intro. Not scary like Foley, but not just walking to the ring. So what we want to do with these wild cards is kind of place them between blue gems. So the hope is that they'll count as blue gems and not as the surrounding ones. Now, issue is when you do this, not sure if it'll count as blue, black, or loot, but we will see. And we'll go there too. They counted as purple. Okay, so hence the name Wild card. But that's what you want to try to do is chain your blues together without making one big wild card, because you want to try to like ensure that you're going to get blues. So we've loaded our finisher and the axe bomber. What I'm going to do is hit the finisher first, because if he kicks out, we'll use the axe bomber to refill. Interesting to note about the finisher at this high of a level. Did he really just not kick out of this? Wow. That's a 5-star gold. That's a 5-star gold striker. F's in the chat. F's in the chat. Let's do that again. Let's do that again. And we have no gems and no health. Give up. Give up. Give up. Yes. Oh, that's why. Oh, you know what's coming next. Third time's a charm. So try to plug these between blue gems. And like try to avoid putting them here when there's 2 gems of a same color that aren't blue. Again, they are wild card gems for a reason, so all right, good sir. I'm gonna need you to kick out of this. Please. Promising. These are promising sounds. Yeah, you go, Finn. Thank you. Thanks, Boo. So, now we get to show, using the axe bomber, making a 4x2, so 8 gems, and we're doing 12 charges. So you want to try to connect them, obviously, to blue gems. And with Trickster Andre, we don't need a whole lot. We could do, that would be 10. That'd be 9. We're likely going to pin. Oh, best case scenario. Best case scenario. And then everything charged up again. And then you would hit the finisher. And if he kicks out, you'd just keep filling the finisher with the Axe Bomber. Or should I say when he kicks out? Go, Finn. It's a birthday. Palmer says hello, by the way. Man, we're getting lucky with these no cascades, which is not something I ever thought I would say. There we go. The freezing is the tell. Wait for the thing to pop up. Oh, it's not going to pop up? Good, because that's annoying. Okay, so that's one move set. Basically use the blue to fill itself and the finisher, and then build around the blue move damage. Instead of Taqueria, you could do Otis, you could do Hall of Fame Honky Tonk Man, you could do Gooker. There are some options there. You could also do a takedown set. I kind of like having armor when you're hitting that big of a pin, just as you saw in the first match, he didn't kick out. So that depends on A, if you have a tier 5 blue % metal, and B, what it is. If it's armor, if it's takedown, if it's fury. If it's padded, I mean, bless your heart, but you got to use it even if it's padded, right? So that's one moveset that's available at 3-star. Let's take a look at another. Second 3-star variation that we're going to look at is double black with blue 2. So we're keeping the Scoop Slam, we're keeping the Axe Bomber, but we're bringing in black 1, which is the Big Boot, also a 5 MP move. And you heal for 462,508. So that's beefy. Important to note that this does deal a little bit of damage, even though it's not in the description. I think it's like 16,000. So deal 16,000 damage and heal for a boatload. So Entourage. Also important to note that IRS at 9k generates 5 loot gems, which is why when there's wildcard gem generation, he's the preference because the color gem generators only do 4. Mine is not at 9k yet, but I wanted to put him on just to show that he does in fact work. We're going to keep Bray Wyatt for black MP. We're going to keep Taqueria for blue gems on the board, and we're going to bring in Alpha for blue gem damage. If you have Striker HBK, in theory, he will boost your heal move. There are reports of that not working, but in theory, that would be the coach to use. And we're going to keep the belt the same metal, same plate, bad attitude, full armor, blue %. Let's see how this looks. So the good thing about the 2 black moves is even without tour perks with Bray Wyatt, they're ready to go on turn 1. And you don't really need to hit this all the time. We're just going to keep it to finish the match with full life. So we'll use this to charge our blues. Not a whole lot going on. That should be fine. We're making a bunch. You know what? We're just gonna make a bunch. Forget it. Yeah. Yay. And the bad attitude plate kicked in. So we're gonna hit the Axe Bomber and the plate's gonna kick in again, which is nice. Oh, it's 4x2. So we'll go there. So you kind of want to use this blue 2 move as a finisher in this build, I guess. So we'll hit this. See, it does do a little bit of damage, and then we heal ourselves. Don't need to use the wild card. The wild card move at this stage is basically just an out in case something happens. But you would essentially just cycle the blue move over and over, heal when you need to. Not the strongest, but definitely effective. Definitely effective. So that's the second 3-star moveset. Let's move on and take a look at a third. Third 3-star variation we're going to look at is a tricolor, red 1, black 2, blue 2. So we're keeping the scoop slam. We're keeping the axe bomber. We're bringing in red 1, which is the hulking up. Also 5 MP. Deal 11,526 damage and choose 2 rows to make into multiply gems of strength 5. Important to note that at 5-star gold, that becomes 3 rows, which will be très important when we're looking at the 5-star moveset. Entourage for this. We're going to keep Bray, just so we can use the wild card move to charge everything. I would recommend using Matt Hardy, but as most of you know, I don't like using Matt in my previews because there's a big chunk of the player base that's locked out of that play style. So I'll be using Acro Balor instead. We're using Afa for blue gem damage, and we're keeping Tech Rhea on for initial blue gems on the board. We are keeping with the Bad Attitude plate, but we have swapped to a full Fury belt. And I've tried to sneak in some blue gem, black gem, red gem substats on the medals here. And we are using a blue percent. It is a tier 4, level 14, so 113% on this blue move. But we've got a little bit of some gem damage help from the belt. And let's walk through this one. So we'll use the scoop slam to load up our blues. We're probably going to pin, which means the red will be ready to go next turn. But we want to make sure that the red move and the blue move are charged on the at the same time, because we're going to use them both in the same turn. Excellent. He didn't take that. So, 2 rows to make into multiply gems of strength 5. What we want to do is target 2 rows with at least 1 red gem and 1 black gem. Because at a ×5 multiplier, breaking 1 of each will charge both of those moves. And Palmer is playing. So we'll go here. And then the hope is that you're able to do this with 2 row breaks, because then you can bang out these 2 gems here. If you do a wild card, you're going to cascade and you're not going to destroy the gems you want to destroy. So you kind of, I guess, don't want a whole lot of blue gems on the board after you get loaded, because you want to be able to do this. Full Fury set. Those gems are pretty damn strong. Look at you. Well, I'm actually happy he kicked out, because I forgot to show you what the gem was actually doing for damage. So, again, Look for 2 rows. So we can put the row break here, and we'll destroy that, that, and that. So 61,000 on the ×5 multiply gem, full fury build, couple blue gem damage substats. And again, this is kind of just an out. It's good to start the match because you can get everything loaded up, and then if something goes wrong, you would just don't use this unless you need to. It's fairly low move damage, so there's really, like, I guess what we could do, like, we could hit it for move damage, even though it's not all that significant. And then just not. And then just not. Because we're going to charge it up anyways, so let's do that. Sure, why not? Pop that down there. Kablop. 911K. Kicked out again. Oh my god. He's no selling. How does it feel, Hogan, to be no sold? How does it feel? All right, brother. Time for you to no sell. Okay. And we'll just keep cycling. And we'll go here. So we're doing 204,000 on the Axe Bomber now that we're using a 113% instead of a 200%. With a 200%, we may have a better chance of keeping them down more often. But keep cycling through like this. On God. I mean, to be fair, he is 5-star gold, and he's a striker, so this is kind of what I wanted to show anyways. Okay, so this is fun, because if we put the area of blue gems in here, we're going to hit a wild card. So let's go up here because we don't really need to worry about breaking a black gem. And then this should keep them down. We'll do that. Blow up those 2 rows. There we go. So that one's fairly straightforward. If you really focus on the substats on your belt, maybe you have, like Hardy would be ideal, but even without Hardy, reminder, we were using Valor, not Hardy. So even that's effective. If you have Zombie Taker, if you have Mem Rock, if you have Showboat Miz to boost those multiply gems even more, that's an option. So that's the third 3-star moveset. I've got one more 3-star moveset to look at. The last 3-star variation that we're going to take a look at is Double Black Red 1. So the heal move, the move that generates wildcard gems, and the move that makes 2 rows of multiply gem strength 5. Entourage for this, they're all 5 MP moves, so I'm not going to run MP trainers. I am going to run double gem generation trainers. Again, if IRS was 9K, we'd be making 14 wildcard gems. If you are like me and your IRS is not 9K, if you had one of the Hall of Fame coaches that generates an extra color gem, you could do that. So we're going to do Dolph, IRS, Afa, and Rhea, because why not? And we're keeping with the Fury belt, but I've put in a black percent because I don't have a black flat. That would be the ideal. And we're going to run a cheap shot. So when you land a gem critical hit, reduce the damage of all your opponent's gems by 50% for 1 turn. So let's, there's a method here. Allow me to show you what it is. So everything's gonna be ready to go next turn. We'll just take his black match. Of course he took the blues. So, we're gonna put down our 2 rows. And there's a nice row here with 2 blue gems. You wanna target a row that has a lot of blue gems, and then you wanna pick another row with like 2 rows away from it, or 3 rows away. So you wanna leave space. We'll go on the bottom just because there's more chance for cascading and whatnot. So we'll go there. And then what you wanna do is take the wild card gems and plug them in. And basically what you'll do is just destroy all of these multiply gems. We've got some reds, we've got some blacks, so that'll fill everything. This is why you want IRS at 9K, because there's this one lonely little loot box over here that's not getting turned into a wild card. But basically we're making a wild card sandwich. $838K. And everything's ready to go. So the key to that, why we're using Rhea, is you want to find as many blue gems as possible for damage. Of course, he gets a bunch of them. Isn't that always the way? Ooh, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. Thank you for not taking those. Excellent. So we'll go there, leave 2 rows. Yes, Palmer, and go there. Saying hi to everybody. Palmer wants to help. I'm going to leave that blue gem not a wild card because it'll be all nice and cascadey and stuff. And the cheap shot plate went off, so this will be fun. $1.14 mil. So this is fun as well. Excellent. That worked out. Cheap shot plate, super helpful. And again, you can finesse your sub stats a little bit to really boost your gem damage. My gem damage metal that I'm using for this preview is level 1. If you have a level 15, you're adding 30%. So that would be even deadlier. So those are the 3-star variations I wanted to show you. The last moveset I'm going to show is the 5-star moveset. Last moveset we're going to take a look at is the 5-star moveset. So we're bringing in blue 3 and red 2. So blue 3 is another finisher. It's 15 charge. Do not be alarmed. Deal 163,997 damage plus 24,107 bonus damage for every multiply gem and pin the opponent. We're running that with red 1, which is the hulking up, and red 2, which is the atomic drop, 8 MP. Deal 28,124 damage and choose 6 multiply gems to destroy. So In testing the builds on my live stream this morning, the consensus was this was the moveset. To me, it's my favorite. Tricolor is also very good, but I really like this one. It can be done with very basic coaches and trainers. We're going to use Butch to start with more red MP. Now keep in mind we do have max tour perks, so both red moves will be ready to go on turn 1. Might not be the case for a lot of us, so if anything, you get started on turn 2 and you end the match turn 3. So we're going to use Butch for more red MP. We're going to use Acro Valor to boost the damage per multiply gem. And I don't have any of the multiply gem coaches, so I'm just running gem reduction. If you have Motu Sina, you could use him. I'm using Zombie Ozka and DX China because we're going up against Finn Balor, and he targets blacks and greens. So any combination of gem defense, or if you have a blue move coach, those would be good options. For the belt, we're going back to full armor. We've got the 200% metal for the finisher, and we're running a cheap shot. And this match will be over on turn 2, barring cascades. And let me show you how. We got the perfect starting board. What we're going to do is choose 2 rows to make into multiply gems of strength 5. And we're going to cover reds and blues. So we need to destroy 2 blues and 2 reds to get everything charged up. So that's what we'll do. This will cause a pin, and that's fine. You don't want to destroy as many multiply gems as possible because you're trying to keep a bunch of them on the board. Excellent. So we'll lay 2 more rows. Remember, this is turn 2. Lay 2 more rows. And we'll destroy 1 red gem. Just 1. And that will charge this again. So we'll put down 2 more rows. And as a reminder, at 5-star gold, this is 3 rows. So it gets even more crazy. Put those there. So we have 1, 2, 3, we'll pretend that's up there, 4 full rows and 8. So 5 full rows plus 1 gem. Our cheap shot plate is activated. Our finisher base damage is 475,642. Balor means we're doing 33,000 per multiply gem. And Mr. Balor here has 3.7 mil health. And with the click of a button, he won't. There's your tell. 1.9 mil health. That is a 1.7 million pin on turn 2. With standard trainers, no multiply coaches. Lo and behold, Zombie Hogan. Let's go ahead and wrap this preview up. So that concludes my preview on Hulk Hogan, the Unmortal. I don't even like calling him that. Hulk Hogan, the Immortal. Come on. It's just so much better. Again, to recap, he's a modern era acrobat, coach ability, silence gems do more damage, so Cesaro, Tech Becky, Trickster Kevin Owens maybe, Ciampa, bring Ciampa back into the meta a little bit. Let me know your thoughts. Let me know if you're a Hogan fan. Where would you place him amongst the modern era acros in the game? I know there's been quite a few lately, so let me know what you think. Thank you very much for taking the time to watch this video. Be sure to like, share with your friends, and subscribe so you're notified when my next gameplay video comes out. Thank you again for watching. Take care.